Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with
Donovan, and that's Donovan.
I'm back. It's your boy, aka the casual fan, Tanner.
It's good to have you back.
It's great to be back, Nick.
Oh man, it's been a while. I think it was episode 29 was the last time you were here.
It's been about 6 months, I think, but thanks for having me back as always.
30 episodes right on the dot.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to come back 30 episodes later to see how it goes. But yeah. If you guys don't already, check us out on Instagram and Twitter at PWLookBack. Give us a follow, subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Send us questions for topics or ideas for roundtables or lookback shows or championship lookbacks. Still waiting on that, Don.
Pew, pew.
And send us an email, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. Hit us up on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, hit the 5 stars. We'd really appreciate that. Leave us a comment, preferably a good one. If not, though, like I always say, let us know. We want to know what you think of the show. If you want to check out me on Twitter, it's at Salsa, SCELSA.
My Twitter is at JustDon44.
And mine is Royalty40.
Tanner, good. You remembered it.
I did.
Nice. Good to see. But yeah, like I always say, the main one at PWLookBack. Check it out. We want to know what you think of the show. And if you don't check out our sponsor, you definitely should. At Pure Oxide CBD on Instagram. It's amazing Pure Oxide premium CBD oils. PureOxide.com. They ship worldwide. Like I've been saying every week, no GMOs, no THC, lab tested. Check out the owner on Instagram at Justin.brothers. They've got hundreds of positive reviews over the product. I've been using the product myself for about 3 or 4 months. Amazing stuff. Check them out at Pure Oxide CBD and PureOxide.com.
The reigning, defending, your boy, champion.
Hey, the casual fan.
Oh,
so how you boys been, eh? How you been?
We're good, but I got something for you real quick.
Yeah, man.
Just
for
because
your boy.
you're here, this is for you. Ladies and gentlemen.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Pulling out that shady, eh?
Yeah.
I got it, right?
Nah, well, it's great to be back. Thanks for, keeping my seat warm and letting me back in here.
Yeah, we had to...
I haven't caught up with current events at all, so you got to fill me in maybe a little bit, but I can always give that casual fan opinion.
Yeah, and there's been some, a bit of a mixing of wrestling and boxing and UFC lately, so it's kind of a good episode to have you in. But yeah. We're not going to get into too much of current stuff right now. We're probably not going to get too much into AEW or NXT this past week, maybe a little bit from Monday Night Raw. We're just going to get into the Crown Jewel stuff as far as like some of the wrestlers, like I said, outside of professional wrestling, get Tanner's opinion. I've got some stuff I want to talk about wrestling audio. We'll get to it later. I'll talk more about what I mean. Preview a little bit of our Halloween special coming next week with the 3 of us, actually. Yeah. Tanner's sitting in for a little bit of this episode with us, and he stuck around to do the special Halloween episode that we got recorded there coming out next week. So that's coming. I also want to get a little bit of Don's thoughts on the multiple companies right now and maybe kind of get a light ranking of the amount of companies that we have in professional wrestling. Yeah. Talk a little bit about celebrities in WWE. But first, other than the fact that we talked about Tanner's back, first episode since episode 29 back in March. Well, Tanner, how was your summer? It's been a while.
It has been that long. Summer was great. Busy, but it was good.
It was good?
Yeah.
That's good to hear because we got to have you back more regularly.
I know. I'm sorry. I just had to take a little bit of break in there. You know how things get, right?
Of course.
You get stuck on a routine and all that, but it's great to see you boys again. You know?
I just don't want to see you again in episode 90. You know what I mean? It's sooner than that would be nice, but either way, we're happy to have you back. But
Thanks,
first, boys, it wouldn't be me. And I don't have the right kind of sound effect for you.
You were the chosen one!
But we gotta talk about that Star Wars trailer that dropped this week on Monday Night Football.
Okay, yeah.
Holy shit. First of all, I gotta say, I think I watched the first time I've ever watched Monday Night Football was to watch this Star Wars trailer. Because I knew it was coming. They were hyping it up forever and ever. The tickets are going to go on sale as soon as the trailer drops. So I was sitting, again, shout out to Matt Hogg. I think I shout him out every week at this point. And we were sitting watching the football game. And I think I had it on picture-in-picture with Monday Night Raw for the first time ever. And I was waiting for the commercial to start. And then there was this guy, I don't know his name, some Fox or NBC, whatever it was, kind of reporter guy. Glasses, bald. He comes on the screen and he's got the Star Wars logo behind him. Oh, dope. And he's just like, "Are you guys ready? Are you ready for the unreleased Star Wars trailer? Are you ready to see it for the first time?" And I'm sitting here like, yes, I don't fucking watch football. It's the only reason I got this on, buddy. Show me the damn trailer. So I was excited as fuck. The trailer was amazing. The movie looks awesome, but they definitely showed us too much. Like, I didn't need to see that much in the trailer. I would have been.
so?
I would totally would have been fine with not seeing a good 2/3 of the stuff.
I'm not gonna lie to you boys. Being a Star Wars fan, I hadn't seen this new trailer that's dropped.
Oh my god! And this guy came to Star Wars Celebration with me
Yeah,
back
yeah.
in 17. This guy has met Mark Hamill,
Yeah.
but it's okay. We might have to.
I saw the one that dropped a couple months ago, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I was so happy to see,
Ray
yeah,
getting all bad.
yeah, I loved it.
With the red-
I said it from the beginning. I was like, she's gonna go bad.
As long
She's
as
gonna
my
go
boy
bad.
Kylo turns good, that's all.
That's gonna be such a reverse fuckery. But
I think they're gonna end up teaming up at some point near the end of that movie. There's one point in the trailer where it kind of looks like they're punching something and shattering it. I definitely think, in my opinion, that's some sort of Darth Vader shrine that the two of them are kind of, letting go.
yeah,
Let the past die.
I'm still
as-
very
as
upset
Kylo
about.
says.
I'm still very upset about the
Last
second movie. Yeah.
Last Jedi and how it wasn't.
You're gonna kill the chosen one, Skywalker, or over here.
Spoilers, but
What?
yeah.
Oh, if you haven't seen it by now, come on.
Yeah, fair enough.
But they're
But
gonna
yeah,
do
yeah,
my
yeah.
boy Mark Hamill like that.
Yeah, well, hey,
That's a bitch's way to go out.
he's in the new one.
He
so-
literally dies from exhausting energy.
He's in the new one. So
What do you mean? He's in the new one?
He's confirmed in the movie.
So he's not dead?
Well,
Or is he going to be like that Ghost Shade?
Obi-Wan's in
Bad.
Empire and Obi-Wan's in Return of the Jedi, and he's not a. You know what I mean?
He's probably going to be a phantom.
I would imagine he's gonna be some kind
It's just
of.
he literally dies by exerting energy to fucking make a fake decoy of himself.
It's. I didn't
That's
hate it.
bitch. Dude, that movie was horrible.
I can confidently say that it's the least favorite of my Star Wars movies.
Like all the Star Wars?
All the Star
That's
Wars.
saying something right
It's
there.
but I still like that movie a lot more than I like most movies. It's a Star Wars movie.
Oh, it's a great movie. And it's beautiful. Great CGI. And I like how they took the artistic ways of like the older movies and still like applied like costumes and all those type of effects, like real effects.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was just the story and how it prolonged. It was literally just like a game of cat and mouse.
No, I hear
Bad
you.
ship
And
a
all
good
the
ship.
Canto Bite stuff.
And we
we
saw
could have
what,
done
two
without-
planets?
Yeah, there
Saw
was
the casino planet and then we saw the red planet where the battle takes place.
great. Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it was just, it left a very sour taste. But they're getting JG back for the third one, right?
Exactly. So he directed the first one, and then they brought him back. I think Ryan Johnson, who's the director of that Last Jedi, I think he's still getting a trilogy down the line of his own.
God, how is he getting something again?
I don't know.
I don't know how
I think
Disney's
they
if I was
promised
Disney-
it before Last Jedi.
These kind of contracts, so they're
So-
kind of, yeah, they got obliged.
But there's a lot of stuff coming. I mean, we've got the Mandalore TV show coming. We've got
What?
an Obi-Wan TV show that's in the
What?
works now.
God, I'm out of the loop.
Yeah, Tanner's big time out of the loop. I'm surprised you don't know about the Mandalore. The Obi-Wan is a little more newer. That was
Oh, you
announced.
know I love Obi and Mandalorian.
But the Mandalore is they've got a TV, they've trailers and everything. It drops in a couple months.
Is it like cartoon or?
No, full on live
Oh,
action,
that's going to be dope.
written and directed by Jon Favreau.
Oh, shit. Yeah. God, yeah. I clearly don't love him
Yeah,
enough.
check
I feel
those
like
check
I know
those
about
trailers.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the Mandalore trailer, definitely check it. And I wish we had more time tonight for us to show you because we know you got to jet out of here early. But
No, that's good.
I want to show you my video of me watching the Star Wars trailer for the first time
Oh yeah.
and my reaction.
You have a reaction video?
I do have a reaction video
Yes.
of watching the trailer, and it's in the shed too, in the studio. So it's cool background. You get
Yeah.
the kind of the
It's in
mics
the
and whatnot.
studio.
But yeah, so I don't know. I had to bring that up. It's fucking Star
Yeah,
Wars.
yeah.
It's me and it's you and it's
I hope
Dawn.
we get
and
the
it's-
classic
we all love it, so.
lightsaber duel though. I need that. I haven't got that in this. Like we talked about in.
We
the,
got it in the first movie.
Yeah, but I want longer. I want a
Okay.
nice.
Before we move on to the wrestling, we gotta have to address this.
I want a nice.
You're not a big fan of the Star Wars,
No, because me and
the
you talked
battle
about this
in Force
off
Awakens.
pod. I don't mind it, but I
In
need
Force Awakens?
That's
I
one
need-
of my favorites. Top 2, top 3 out
I
of the
want-
whole saga
I want a long.
for me.
I want a long duel, but that's just me. That's what I like.
What's
I just
your
like-
favorite?
the duel and the fight in Force Awakens, it just felt
Oh.
real.
My
I
favorite
had
is
not-
by
like-
far Episode 3.
Really?
Yeah.
No, mine's Episode 1, Phantom Menace. Ma versus Quinn.
That's a good
See,
one.
mine
Obi.
is
That's
mine
good.
by far without even thinking
Oh,
about it.
Anakin and Obi. Shit.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. But no,
Yeah.
mine is Empire Strikes Back. Luke and Vader.
Yeah,
Like,
classic.
that's the first one.
Classic.
Yeah,
I'm your father. And
classic.
shit. Like that's to me, that's
Classic
the best
lightsaber
one.
duel, yeah.
But it's the opinions of Tanner. like-
Reasons
yeah,
too, right?
exactly.
Like
There's
I
good
watched
ones,
that
yeah.
one in the theater a lot. Like to me, it
Mm.
was right. And
I saw that in theaters too by
yeah.
myself. First time I ever saw a movie by myself.
What movie? The third Star Wars?
Episode 3.
Well, it was Episode 3.
Revenge
yeah.
of the Sith. Yeah.
Yeah. With Obi and
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
And Yoda, man,
I have the high ground.
getting Yoda getting wild.
Yo, Yoda should have beat Dooku. I don't know how he lost that, one.
That was
but-
dope.
Yeah. The fight against what's his name? Palpatine was probably
Yeah.
better. But
Oh yeah. No, sorry. Oh yeah, he did. Well, he technically didn't lose the fight against Dooku in Clone Wars.
Yeah, he kind of just.
But
dips.
yeah, it was Palpatine I was actually talking about. Sorry,
And
I expected him to win that, and he was winning it.
But then he kind of crawls through
Yeah,
that. little
Palpatine
hole.
just got that evil like, and he's throwing stands at him and shit.
Oh man.
Fucking Palpatine.
But hey, dropping a bomb on the pod, we are going to see it.
That was the other thing I didn't get to. Everyone you're listening to now, and Phil, and
Yep.
our buddy Blair, who's yet to come on the show. I'm sure he'll be making an appearance in the next few months.
Yeah, we gotta get him on.
The 5 of us are going to see it. So I bought tickets for us, just so you guys know. I didn't really tell you. I didn't get anything crazy. These are just basic 3D Star Wars, so it's only
That's fine with me, man.
you only owe me $16. I'll take that whenever you can get it to me. Sooner than later, maybe. No. Yeah, and then I went and bought one for the Sunday too, by myself to go see it on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of
you're gonna double tap it. Eh?
Oh, I got to. I'll probably.
You always do.
Yeah. And the cool part about the Sunday thing, I honestly did it. Half the reason I did it was because of this. I picked the 9:30 or it might have been the 10 o'clock show. So by the time I get out of the movie, it should be past midnight, which will be my birthday. It'd be kind of cool. Drive home.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
So that'll be all right. But I guess we will stick to kind of more of the wrestling stuff. I'll get to the F1 update later in the end of the show, kind of a shorter one this week. But Tanner's still here, so we got to get his opinions on this stuff. Are you familiar with one Tyson Fury?
The boxer?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's made some appearances lately on Monday Night Raw.
No way, for real?
So he was at, where did he make his first? Was it at the pay-per-view?
SmackDown.
It was SmackDown, the first episode on Fox.
That's hilarious.
He was in the crowd.
Yeah.
And him and Braun Strowman got into a little
He's a big guy.
altercation. Braun threw Ziggler into the wall, and then Ziggler bumped into that.
Braun's fighting Ziggler? What did that look like with that mismatch?
I don't know if
It was like a
it was just
six-man
yeah, it was like a
kinda
big.
Oh, okay. It wasn't
yeah,
like a 1-on-1.
No. It was like a 5-on-5 or a
Yeah,
4-on-4 or something like that. So anyway, Tyson Fury got involved. So then the next week on Raw, because I guess we didn't really tell Tanner, SmackDown is now on Friday nights. It's been bought out by Fox.
Whoa, for real?
Yeah, they paid over $2 billion to WWE.
Wow, WWE sold the rights to SmackDown. What does that fuck with the rosters and the fighters? Are they still part of WWE or are they owned by Fox?
It's still owned by WWE. It's just Fox.
Well, not technically.
Yeah,
Fox bought it.
No, they bought the rights to air it on their television.
Oh, so Fox doesn't own it. They're not running the show. Not like Disney and Star Wars.
No. It's
And
basically
they paid $2 million just to have the rights to air it.
Yeah,
billions.
crazy.
Just to air it
We
on
talked
Fox,
about that last week on the roundtable.
That's a lot of money to not even own it, just to air it.
That's
I guess that shows how big WWE is.
That, and it shows what ratings in 2019, guaranteed ratings that being, mean.
Mm-hmm.
Because not everybody's going to their, watching their TV at a specific time nowadays.
Yeah.
But for wrestling, that's kind of, most people are sitting down at 8 o'clock and tuning in and watching.
It was on Wednesday before?
It was on Tuesday. So you Raw on Monday and then
Oh,
SmackDown on Tuesday, which, I mean, it's been a while.
How much do you think Raw would sell for? If SmackDown sold for $2 billion.
A lot.
You think like $10 billion?
Well, I don't know about that. It's honestly ratings. I think Raw's ratings aren't substantially better than SmackDown. It's just a longer show.
Are. And they
No,
usually
but
have
they're
the
really
higher-
not. Like they don't get that much because I listen to a lot of the Wade stuff where he breaks down the ratings each week, and they're not that far apart. It's just they know that X amount, whatever it is, X thousand, X million amount of people are guaranteed going to be watching, tuning into Fox on Friday night. Whereas if they have, I don't know, X show that isn't wrestling on Friday, they know they're not going to get the guaranteed viewership. So they'll get more money from their like the advertisements. They can charge more for advertisements because they can say, hey, we've got WWE now. We have this amount of fans coming to our network every single Friday night. We want this much for ads.
Which
commercials.
Speaking of ads and commercials, like to tie that in, what's interesting? When I was watching the basketball game the other night, I got the SmackDown, the Friday night SmackDown. They popped up
on the
and
bottom.
They talked about the Firefly Funhouse. Tune in. I was like, well, this is weird.
Yeah. Oh, that's something I want. Oh, sorry.
And it was weird just because I've never seen an ad like that during a ball game. I think this was for the.
They do it during Monday Night Football now too. That's the big thing.
This is during the Raptors game I was watching, right?
Okay.
Yes. And
Against the Pelicans? Like their opening?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then later that night when I was watching the Lakers Clippers game, I got the AEW ad during that game. That was it was like, this is crazy.
The AEW I've seen on TSN
cool.
before. I've never seen the SmackDown one during basketball. It's probably just because I don't watch enough basketball. And lately, I mean, I wanted to talk about it at the beginning of the show, but I totally got sidetracked with the Star Wars stuff. But I've been obsessed with baseball lately. Like, these baseball playoffs are like consuming me. It's crazy. I watched Game 6, Yankees and stuff, and now I'm leading into the World Series. I barely watched AEW last night. I had it on mute, on picture-in-picture while I watched baseball. So I had I don't know, random thought, but shout out to baseball.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tyson Fury, back to kind of, we were explaining the whole SmackDown being on Fridays, and that's why he was there, because it was the first episode on Friday night on Fox, so it was a big deal. They had The Rock came out with Becky, and it was a
bunch of people.
Yeah, it was a big deal. So they got into an altercation, and how much do you know about him? Because I had no idea who this guy was until I saw him.
Tyson Fury?
Yeah.
I only know about his one fight or his couple fights.
So like,
I don't know too much about him.
Okay, I was curious for, again, casual fan, outsider perspective, like.
Yeah. Like, I don't follow boxing like I follow UFC, right?
Of
or mixed
course.
martial arts.
But I just mean, like, Donovan knew who he was. If I wasn't friends with Donovan, I still would be watching this, like, oh, this boxer
You'd be
guy.
wondering who he, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I probably would have Googled him by now in the day and age we live, but I just, I didn't really.
Did you see his one fight, though? Who was that against?
The last one where his eye got cut.
No, that was gross. That was the one before that he got robbed on. It was a split decision.
The one against Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
That's where he rose up.
Yeah, like literally like the dead man.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen that clip, Nick, but he literally gets KO'd.
Donovan told me about it, but I didn't see it.
Disgusting. Literally just sits up like the Undertaker.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And
like
he
the
got
10th
rocked.
round,
He won that fight. I don't know if you've seen it, but.
That's
man,
off.
Let's
Enough.
not get on this.
They're running it back, so we'll wait.
They are running it back.
They're having a rematch. Those two guys.
What?
I believe in February, which is interesting because it's so
I saw the highlights with his other fight that he just had, but that gash he got, that was dirty.
But he's a bad motherfucker.
Oh, he's tough as fuck.
All being said,
Yeah, that's true. He, I heard that he kind of did this whole jumping over to WWE stuff without talking to.
Has he done wrestling?
Well, not yet. He's going to be fighting Braun Strowman.
So they have a debut for him.
Oh yeah, he's fighting Braun Strowman at the Crown Jewel, the Saudi show. He took the Saudi money.
So he's pulling a Rousey, eh? What?
Did she go? No, women can't go there. But no, they don't. They just don't fight there. They don't allow them to.
No, they don't allow him to.
But
no, but like he's pulling a Rousey. Like how much wrestling experience can he really have? It's taken Ronda.
He doesn't
Is Ronda
have.
even still in WWE?
No, she lost the title at Mania and she's yet to come back since. But I don't know if it's one because she said she wants to have a baby, or two, it's because
I
she fucking
remember you mentioned that like 6 months ago.
Yeah, and did you see her finger? Like
No.
I'm sure it's healed at this point. But like 3 months ago, she almost lost the whole top of her finger. It was like an Instagram
Was it
picture.
during a wrestling match?
No, it was
Practice?
hunting or something.
Something in her personal life.
Yeah,
I'm
something
not sure.
outside of WWE.
okay,
Because
yeah.
she hasn't been on TV since WrestleMania.
Yeah, which is
The last time you were here.
so like 6 months ago.
Yeah, a while ago.
She's
so
probably done, or she might come in. And you know how
She'll
much money
be
she
back
probably
at
made
some
in that
point.
short career.
a lot.
And that's how I don't
Reports
even remember
are
our past
saying-
talks, we had biased opinions on all this, but she got way overpaid and rushed and given things that other wrestlers deserved way ahead of her. But just because she has that name, she's a cash cow for the business.
She drew.
And if I was a business owner, I would use the cash cow as well.
just because you know that
It's Ronda Rousey,
and people are going to tune into your show because
Fuck yeah.
Ronda's on. Okay, we're going to watch
Exactly.
it. How many more people watched wrestling last year because Ronda Rousey?
Yeah,
probably quite a few.
Yeah,
Especially young
myself
women.
included.
Yeah, you too. Hopefully, we'll get you back on more regular pace. But yeah, I don't know. What with Tyson Fury, Don, you I haven't let you talk much. What are your thoughts on all this? We talked a little bit about it last week, but I just
Oh yeah, well,
I guess we can preview it now. It's happening this week, next week, Friday. When does it happen?
Halloween.
Oh, it's the night of Halloween.
Day of Halloween.
Day of Halloween.
Yeah.
So it's a Thursday.
Yes, October 31st.
Good old Thursday afternoon. That's what we all want to do. Sit down and watch a pay-per-view at 1 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon. Thanks, WWE.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, they got me this time.
They got me.
Yeah,
got me.
you said that last week. Is it the Tyson Fury and the Cain Velasquez?
It's Fury, it's Kane, yeah. I'm not going to be doing anything in midday on Thursday.
Well, see,
so
that's
I'll be-
if I was sitting
I
at
got
home
work,
doing fuck all too on
Yeah,
that time, I would be watching it too.
You don't work anymore, Donna?
not that
Thursday.
Thursday.
He's on a different schedule.
Yeah.
You still have Popeyes?
Yes.
Not the chicken.
Not the chicken.
The supplement store.
Yes.
But
Moving up.
Donald's
too.
got gains.
nothing against the chicken.
Nothing against the chicken.
Yo, their chicken shit.
Oh, I mean,
I don't know.
I
It's
wouldn't
so
say that in
bland.
front of Donovan.
Yeah, I know. I've seen him eat it here a couple times.
But enough about the Popeyes.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk more about Tyson Fury and kind of this match with Braun Strowman?
I'm just curious to see how he's going to perform.
Well, he hasn't wrestled at all. That's the difference when we'll get into Cain Velasquez. And
They're pointing up at someone of caliber as Bronze.
right? Like he doesn't. Like no, but like Tanner's a casual fan and he knows this.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't take
Well, actually, who
a
did Ronda?
genius wrestling mind. Sorry to figure this out.
Yeah, but who did Ronda have her debut with?
debut match.
Yeah.
It was
Singles?
the tag. It was the tag match.
Like her
Well,
first
match
like
was
her
the tag
first
match.
real match.
Her first ever
What,
real
with
match.
the Bella?
No,
No.
Kurt Angle and her versus Stephanie and Triple H at WrestleMania 30.
Oh, well, she was in the ring with Legend, so she got carried.
34. Yeah, exactly. And then I feel like her first... Did she fight Sasha? But that wasn't her first match. Singles.
Yeah, as far as what was next,
I don't know what was after that. But I know she fought Sasha, and then after that, obviously, all the whole Becky and Charlotte stuff and leading into Mania. But I don't know. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't have a lot of prior in-ring wrestling experience. It came out yesterday or the day before in news sites and whatnot that he didn't talk to his management team about this.
So is he done boxing then? Is he going to pull
No,
it
no,
out?
no.
No
So-
way, because he's still in the middle of
and
his
he's still
prime
the
and, like,
champion.
yeah.
Don, you told me he's a champion of like four different.
I think this is just
company.
a one-time shot. You know what I mean? I mean, we might see him again down the
Yeah.
line
Yeah.
some point at a WrestleMania. or
WWE's
something.
offering him a big chunk of fucking money, and why not?
But this is more of
Yeah.
a one-time thing for now.
He's going to
Like,
make a nice paycheck, and it looks like he enjoys the sport of wrestling, so.
I
Well, yeah,
heard
he-
somewhere like $15 million or something like that.
Yeah, just for one. That's more money than we'll make in our lives, and he's going to make in an evening.
Crazy.
Hopefully not.
It's the yeah, hopefully not. You never know.
Sad truth.
I'm going to buy a lottery ticket tomorrow morning, so don't. But yeah, well, we might as well move on to the other person, the other outsider, I guess we could say, Cain Velasquez. What are your thoughts on this? Do you have time to talk on this? I know you.
I got time for Cain.
Because then you can probably jet out after that. I know you got to
Yeah.
go. So, just the thoughts on another UFC guy coming over to be in WWE, another UFC guy fighting for a championship, and I just want to know what you.
So Cain's fighting for the belt?
Well, yeah, that's what I
That's
was just
his
about.
debut?
Exactly. That's
What the fuck?
exactly.
I'll say this much. I like when WWE takes, athletes from other sports, essentially.
Avenues.
You know what I mean? Avenues, yeah. Like boxing, they seem to be doing it just with fighting so far, right? Like, I don't think there's been anyone really that's been from...
They brought Gronk into WrestleMania like 4 years ago.
Yeah, but
and
they
he just did like a tackle. It wasn't
Yeah.
like a match.
Yeah, not a match.
Shaq's been there before.
Yeah, some
But-
basketball.
but nothing serious.
But nothing
Yeah,
serious.
not like this.
Not, yeah. But I like that WWE is doing that. It branches and it offers that olive branch of like connection between all these different avenues and sports and industries, right? So I like that. But the one thing I hate, and that we were just talking about, is how somebody like Cain Velasquez. Don't get me wrong, he's done a bit of some fighting down in Mexico now, right?
Yeah,
Yep,
in
he's been
AAA,
wrestling
yeah.
in AAA with a mask, doing actually quite well.
He's El Diablo or whatever,
Yeah,
or something like that. Like, so it's not like it's his first match, and obviously he's putting some time. But it's like I feel like these fighters, when they get towards the end of their career or whatnot, and professionally fighting, that they branch off and go to WWE, which is a smart idea to do. But it's just when they get pushed, like his debut match is for the belt. Like, come on, are you for real? I don't know. I just don't see that as being fair to people that have been in the business for much longer.
You don't sound like a casual fan right now. You sound like a hardcore pro
I know,
wrestling
but
fan. No, and
I
I mean that as a positive because
Yeah.
the people that aren't me and Donovan that watch a little bit of both, and Donovan being way more than me. I mean, we do a Don Hour UFC segment sometimes on the show, and we talk UFC.
Yeah.
The people that aren't UFC fans are not liking this. I listen to wrestling shows frequently, and there's a lot of people who don't know who this guy is. They're calling into shows, and they're saying, who is this guy? I don't know who this guy is. Was he from UFC? I don't care. Like,
So a lot of like wrestling fans are not happy about this.
no, because they don't know
Well,
who he is, and they don't care.
Well, that's weird. Like, he
You know
had
what
a
I
big
mean?
name, but he wasn't as big as Ronda.
No,
Don't get me
or
wrong.
Brock.
Yeah.
And Brock
Yeah,
had been there before.
Well, Brock
And
started in WWE.
exactly, right?
and
So
then-
Ronda's probably a better comparison. And
Yeah.
he wasn't a household name like Ronda Rousey was.
No, but I don't know. I don't see why people are up in arms about him. I have no problem with him coming to the sport. I think it's cool.
No, it's not even as much just coming
Oh,
to
so it's
this.
more about him being debuted on the championship belt?
That, and you saw WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Kofi, you remember him winning the championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kofi was the champion all the way until 2 weeks ago.
Ooh,
When-
that's a long fucking reign for that guy to be holding the belt.
Well, Donovan wasn't a fan of it, but it was. I didn't.
Well, you know how I think about those guys.
I
so.
didn't hate it. It wasn't a horrible run.
New Day just doesn't do it for me. But.
Fair, yeah. And they don't do it for everyone, so that's a totally fair comment to make. But Kofi lost the WWE Championship after holding it for 6 months to Brock Lesnar in 7 seconds.
I know. I'm so sick of Brock Lesnar winning
came
that
in-
way or winning like.
Well, and he was gone. He lost to Seth Rollins
I
at
know, but-
SummerSlam, and then debuts at
how many times does Brock Lesnar come in and do like a fucking 1 minute fight, win the belt, and hold it for the next year and a half?
Exactly. No, you
Exhausting.
sound like the wrestling fans now. You know what I mean? These
exhausting.
are the diehard wrestling fans because everybody was up in arms. They were going, "What do you mean? What, like, how
Yeah.
do you do this?"
I agree
to
with the
Kofi?
fans being upset and doing that to Kofi or whatnot and just rushing Kane like that.
Yeah.
But do you think they're putting Kane against Brock and promoting this because they both have prior experience in the UFC?
Well, they
and
brought
they
that
fought
up a
each
ton.
other.
They've brought
And
it up a
fought
bunch.
each other, like actually fought. Like
Oh,
Brock got his ass handled to him by
They
Kane.
showed the scar and they showed
Yeah.
footage of Brock all cut up with
Yeah.
that massive. I didn't realize
That's
that
a big part of the story, I feel like,
Well,
too.
that's what I mean. They're actually
But
taking a physical, real. Don't get me wrong. Wrestling, we all know it's not real.
they're
but
using that
yeah,
fight heavily.
They're great at making stories and all that, but they're using a real situation that happened and occurred to promote this fight, this fictional drama, which is good. I don't mean that in a negative way.
Kane screamed at him last. Sorry to cut. Kane screamed at him last week in Spanish, saying that he's going to give him a scar on the other side.
Good.
Yeah, like and again, just to,
like Lesnar in the ring, you know,
just to
like,
kind of fill you in more on all this. So Lesnar won, beat Kofi in 7 seconds, won the championship, shocked everybody, and then Rey Mysterio's music hit
Oh no way! 619 came out, baby.
because 2 weeks earlier, Brock beat the holy effing fucking shit out of Rey and his son Dominic.
Oh, and his son. Eh?
Like,
is that really his son?
yeah,
Yeah.
like the tall guy. I think
It's
you've
not like
seen
some
him
Kurt
before.
Angle. It's
No.
storyline shit.
It's his
Hey,
actual son.
That's his son. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But no, Dominic is because Dominic was in a storyline with Eddie and Ray back in 2005, and it's the same kid.
Yeah.
Just obviously young.
Mhm.
But he beat the crap out of Ray and Dominic 2 weeks earlier. So then Ray's music hit right after Brock won the championship, and everybody's thinking like, well, what the fuck is going on? And then this bald guy comes out, and everyone's like, who the hell's that? And I'm like, oh my god, that's Cain Velasquez. And I remember turning to shout out to Newell. I think it was Newell I was watching the show with, and I'm like, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, he's not around. I'm like, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
And then he came in and he kind of attacked Brock and gave him a few punches. He also was on Raw this week. Cain Velasquez, he came out and he beat up Shelton Benjamin because Shelton Benjamin was pushing around Rey Mysterio, being like, you're not a tough guy. And I like the fact that they brought up that Shelton, roomed with Brock Lesnar at University of Minnesota and they trained, shoot wrestling together.
Yeah, a lot of realism to this story.
Yeah.
about
Totally.
it.
I think Kane will do a good job, to be honest with you.
It's just,
He has a lot of wrestling
I know that,
experience
yeah.
too.
And Brock's the kind of guy that if he respects you, he'll go the extra mile, I think, to make sure that the match you're having.
I don't know.
Is-
He's
is-
the type of guy too. I feel like he's been in the UFC and he did well for himself. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
But he's the type of guy, like if you disrespect him or do him wrong by accident, he just becomes an overreacting
could see
giant
that.
child bully.
I
Just
could
like the
see
fight
that.
with Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
Remember that he literally punched Strowman back because of Strowman accidentally doing a clip. You think Strowman was actually trying to throw hands with Brock Lesnar?
No.
And then he just turns into that fucking big child bully shit.
That's a
so,
great
like,
point.
If he's in the ring with Kane and Kane fucking manhandled him, he's probably like, I gotta behave and be on my best.
Well, that's
behavior.
what I mean. He knows that this guy beat the shit out of him
Yeah,
in real
like,
life.
Actually,
So it's like, they're gonna make.
Lesnar win then, bro.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't see it going any other way.
My problem, I think, is the fact that we're gonna take the title away from Kofi just to put it on Brock, so then we can have him fight Kane. You could have had Brock and Kane fight in Saudi Arabia with no championship, and I don't think it would have been that much different.
I don't know
Brock
how
and
far
Kane?
they think ahead of time too, though. I don't feel like Cain Velasquez was like a pre-planned thing for like a long time.
No?
No, I feel like it's the last couple months probably.
I don't know that for sure, but I don't.
Well, from what I heard, or just from what I watched on my MMA videos and all that, I feel like Kane was looking to be into the Mexican. What was the wrestling?
Triple A.
Triple A. I feel like he was going to be in there for a while, at least doing his rotation.
Well, he's
Yeah.
still doing
And this
one
jump-
more match over there.
Yeah,
But
but
he's signed officially
Yeah.
with WWE.
But
now.
this jump right to WWE has been really fast paced, and they probably scouted out and saw, heard about Cain Velasquez
And the
starting
name.
to wrestling, and then probably watched some footage to see if he was potentially something they could bring over.
probably talked to Brock. They probably said, "Hey, Brock, what do you think?"
Yeah, and his
Should we-
paycheck's probably 5 times larger than at AAA.
Oh, definitely. But he's learning in the right places, especially being
starting
a big,
that amateur. Yeah,
and being a big dude like he is, going and
Yeah.
wearing a mask.
that's
and
why
doing
I'm curious how he's going to be.
flips and all
Yeah,
kinds
because
of.
the luchador wrestler is always known for the crazy stuff.
I've seen a few videos of him. He can move,
He
but
can, eh?
any of the footage that I've seen of him in WWE so far, not quite the best.
Well,
He's-
look at Ronda back in the earlier days until where she was 6 months ago. She did good.
that's true.
She progressed and evolved.
She came a lot in 2018 as far as how well she was at the beginning of it towards the middle half and the end of it. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious to see how much, work he's going to do in the ring. Like how long the match will be. What type of match is it going to be? Is it going to be more just, are they going to make it like a pro wrestling UFC match?
That'd be gay.
So yeah, I agree. I agree.
No, I think it.
'Cause
I think it'll
it's-
be like a wrestling match, man. It'll be it'll be a wrestling match. That's what I think.
You don't think we're going to get like
Like there'll be some probably
square
there'll
up?
be some takedown.
Well, they'll do how Ronda Rousey always had her striking or her UFC background involved into
Yeah,
her
yeah,
wrestling. They're probably gonna have that, but
Some of that.
There's
Yeah.
still gonna be wrestling.
I'm sure they're gonna incorporate some strike, but like
I could totally see a good 2-3 minute segment of the match where they spend rolling around
Just
on the
sparring?
ground. No, like not sparring necessarily, more like grappling on the ground.
Okay.
Trying to get in and out of submissions and that kind of thing. Maybe, punches in here and there and this and that. But I don't know. I think what this all comes back to, and the final point I want to make here quickly, do we care about celebrities in professional wrestling and having matches?
They bring money, they bring fans, and they're cash cows.
Yeah.
A name can bring people, at least from my perspective, my opinion.
So it may not...
Even from somebody that isn't, I'm a casual fan, a celebrity makes it more interesting. You're curious. You know what I mean? It piques that curiosity.
So the fact that it brings you in, but it may or it doesn't necessarily bring you in, but it may bring other people in.
Oh,
is
it
enough?
brings me in for at least one watch.
So yes,
it works.
So it matters to the casual fan.
Yeah, just in my opinion. Maybe diehard fans don't think twice about it, like, oh, it doesn't fucking matter to me. But to me, like, when you hear Ronda Rousey, I know I'm always really critical and all that, but I'm curious to see how she can do. I'm curious to see how Kane's going to do.
Yep.
You know what I mean? What's even going to happen with Tyson Fury? Like that, I'm probably more curious about that than even Kane.
Yeah. Me too. And I'll answer quickly before you go, Donovan. I think it matters to people outside of wrestling, and it puts more eyes on wrestling. And me, as a pro wrestling fan, somebody that does a pro wrestling podcast, if there's more people watching wrestling, I'm never going to be disappointed by that.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. And it depends how you define it, dude, too, and break it down. Because like celebrities, like if we're talking like, fucking, I don't know, whoever, Vin Diesel or whoever the fuck. Like, there's a difference between them and like these guys who are. Like Ronda took to the ring pretty easily. She adapted pretty quick. Kane, from what I hear, is adapting pretty quick. I'm sure Tyson Fury will do fine too. Like these guys are athletes. They can adapt. You know what I mean? So I feel like it depends if we're and then even in the Hollywood case, like when the fucking Arrow dude came over, like he's a fan of wrestling. He did pretty well in the one match that he fucking did in WWE, like the SummerSlam thing, and he did shit after in the Indies, like. These people who are like Tyson Fury is a fan of wrestling. I'm sure he knows how to.
Same with Kane,
Same
obviously.
with Kane, yeah. Same with Ronda. She was a fan.
But
so
we don't want Will Smith coming in having a match against,
Yeah, not
so and
necessarily.
so.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
That
like,
kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. I figured that whole conversation kind of grounded in the whole celebrities in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
But Tanner, we appreciate you coming in for the first half of the roundtable.
Sorry,
here.
I got a jag, boys, but I appreciate you having me on here and the PW LookBack fan base. Enjoy the rest of the podcast and your hosts, Nick and Dano.
All right, we're back. Thanks, Tanner, for doing that. That was awesome. We appreciate you coming on for the beginning of the show. Just me and Donovan now. Do you want to talk anything else about the Crown Jewel?
Yeah, well, I got a couple of questions maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to know what you think about this. Do we look, I mean, just looking at a couple of the title matches we got going on there, do we think anything is really going to change at like this pay-per-view as far as titles go? Kane, Brock, Seth, Bray.
I was going to say, do you mean change hands or change in general? I don't think anything's happening with Seth.
Fighting, right? Like,
did you see that they announced for that match no referee stoppages of any kind?
I didn't. I heard about that, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, they specifically made a note, like it says it in the description of the match, that the referee cannot stop it for any reason. I don't know. I think they've burned the candle too late, or you pick a metaphor. This feud to me is died at the Hell in a Cell and should have been moved on from that point.
Yeah, well, how are we supposed to, like, there was no trade, right, at this point?
For Bray?
Either, right,
no,
right?
Bray's on SmackDown still. So I don't know why he's got a rematch. I think they just want to redo
clear the air,
whatever they did.
Yeah.
At Hell in a Cell. But I mean, what else do we have? Do we have any other championship title matches that are
Brock and
that
Kane?
Tanner
What do we think about that?
Tanner kind of mentioned that he thinks Brock. I gotta be honest. I think Kane might take it.
Want to hear my theory?
Yes, I do.
I think that. I mean, going into it, I kind of was thinking that, you know what, maybe Kane will actually come in and win this. But now, I think it's going to be a schmage. I think it's going to be like Brock gets disqualified, and I think that
from a ref stoppage.
Yeah, I think they go on to some
bullshit like
maybe
that.
Maybe kicks him in the nuts and just keeps his title.
Or
maybe
Heyman gets involved.
Yeah, I think that he's going to feel threatened and he's going to look to get disqualified. And then this will continue on, whether it be Team Kane, Team Brock, Survivor Series, or one-on-one. I think they'll continue it over there.
I like that Team Kane, Team Brock at Survivor Series. That could be something.
And especially with Shelton Benjamin coming into the fold like that, like and Kane having Ray, and you know what like you can do something cool with that.
You definitely could. You could get. I mean, I know Randy. Is Randy a heel right now? It'd be dope to have Randy teaming up with Brock. I don't think he would, but it would be just because of the Shelton Randy old school coming in at the same time connection. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up some of the other matches from the show.
I seen something.
Title matches.
There's a battle royal to see who's gonna fight AJ later that day.
Really?
Which will probably end up being Kevin Owens.
In my 20-man battle royal, winner faces AJ Styles for United States Championship.
He's there.
I would imagine, if Kevin Owens is there. I don't know. Has he gone to the Saudi shows in the past?
He sat out on the last one, I believe.
I think
he didn't
so
want
too.
To go, right?
Yeah, so I wouldn't pencil that in, especially if he didn't want to go last time. I don't know if they'd be giving him a win there this time.
So it'll be a random Cedric Alexander type deal?
It doesn't even really, there's nobody listed for it. It just says 20-man battle royal.
Yeah.
Probably like a Cedric or something like that, or I don't know if they want to send Ricochet back in there after he was just finished feuding. Maybe a Buddy Murphy or something like that, like maybe out of left field, somebody that, because there's only, I guess, certain people that are willing to go to Saudi Arabia too, right, or want to go.
Yeah.
But that's it for title matches. Who is Mansoor?
Mansoor is.
Why don't I know who that is?
He's the young gentleman who won the Battle Royal
from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Yes, the Saudi wrestler. My bad. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So he's fighting Cesaro in a singles match, 1-on-1. Didn't even know that was happening. I'm finding that out as we speak. And then the old Team Hogan versus Team Flair. Right. This is just happening for the Saudi fans. Like, not that I don't want it to happen. I just mean, like, let's be real. Like, this match is happening for nostalgic people that want to be nostalgic and want to see, Hogan and Flair in some sort of capacity going against each other, because these teams don't really make any sense. I mean, we've mixed in some Bobby Lashley, Rusev stuff into some of the teams, and I think Randy's on one of the Randy's with Flair, and
I think we got heels with Flair, right? All the bad the heels
that would
Flair.
Make sense, yeah.
Because isn't Drew McIntyre now?
Which he debuted again back on Raw. They announced him on the draft a couple weeks ago, but he debuted this week to come out with Flair on Monday Night Raw. Did you see the opening segment with Flair, actually?
I did not.
Oh, man. There was one thing I had to bring up on the show. Just, how there's always people yelling at him. Woo, this and that. He's yelling at because he's in full heel mode right now. Mm-hmm. And he's like chirping the football team, like Cleveland. He's like, oh, yeah, your team sucks and all this. He's like really ripping the team. And then some guy yelled something to him in the crowd. I don't know what buddy said, but he's just like, hey, buddy, like, I used to know your mother. Like, So you deserve one of those there, Ricky. Because I just thought that was hilarious. Because it's, you know what I mean? Like, if it was back old Ric Flair, it would have been your girlfriend.
Yeah.
But I love that it's like he's a little bit older now.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's your mother, because I used to know your mother. Like, just a great little line by him. But then, him debuting Drew McIntyre back on Raw, coming back for the Crown Jewel show. He beat Ricochet. It was kind of a lengthy match too, and it was relatively good for a Monday Night Raw match. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. But yeah, back to Crown Jewel. Do you have a specific person you think is winning that Hogan Flair matchup?
I forget who's on Hogan's team. I know what Roman's on. Roman's like a captain, right? Roman, and I can't think of who else is on Hogan's team.
We got Roman Reigns, Rusev, Ricochet, Shorty G, and Ali. That sounds like a two guys.
Shorty G.
Shorty G and Ali. That sounds like a hip hop group from the 90s.
Oh man, Shorty Gable.
It's not even Shorty Gable.
It's just Shorty
it's
G
just
now.
Shorty G, because he called himself Shorty G. He's like, I'm Shorty G now. Or whatever he said on the mic last week on SmackDown. I think I have some notes.
Not to
actually
go super into his whole name change, but like he could be like Don Tony was saying. Shout out to him for this. Like it sounds like a guy in like a mob, like an old school mobster movie. Like, hey, that's Shorty Gable. Watch out! You gotta watch out for Shorty Gable, man. He might fuck you up. You know what I mean? Like with a name like that, like he could really.
Hey,
watch out! Don't fuck with Shorty G.
It's Shorty. Don't fuck with him.
You know what I mean?
Like, I'll come at you quick. From underneath. That's why they call him Shorty.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that could work. That's actually if he started wearing a suit or something like that and a little suave, I could see it. It's something. We're trying to make it work, but we're trying is for sure. yeah, give me a prediction for a winner. I don't want to go through too much of the Crown Jewel stuff. Just
I don't know.
give
For
me
some reason, I feel like the bad guys are gonna win.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think Flair's going to get the win. And then, like I said a couple weeks ago, if we do get the rematch at Survivor Series, and that's what the 5-on-5 is, I hope it's not.
And
but
maybe Hogan gets in the ring, brother.
Maybe, you know what I mean? I wouldn't put it past him to, maybe give Shorty G a... well, not Shorty G, I don't know. One of the heels, maybe Drew. No, that wouldn't work. Drew would fucking eat Hulk for dinner. But yeah, I don't know. You're watching it. They got you this time. I'll be watching the highlights on my lunch break next week. Yep. Or I'll be watching, maybe not the highlights. I'll try and catch at least an hour of the show while it's live when I'm on my lunch break. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Is there anything else from Raw as far as Crown Jewel goes? We talked about Cain Velasquez attacking Shelton Benjamin. SmackDown last week, and we haven't talked about it. It's been at least 2-3 weeks now. The Bayley music, I love it.
So
we talked about it a tiny bit last week, but I didn't
really catch SmackDown last week, like not live.
Yeah,
I kind of caught a bit of it later on that night, but so I still haven't gotten like a full glimpse of this Bayley.
It's very like generic wrestler 2004.
Yeah.
But it fits this heel Bayley.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why, but it
just
just works. Yeah. It's because I think now her character there's no fun and games. There's no bullshit. Mm-hmm. We don't need flashy, crazy entrance music. No offense, Sasha Banks. I love.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I think I've listened to that song on Spotify more times than I probably should have. But anyway, it's not that kind of song. It's more just straight to the point and basic. Similar to, have you listened to or checked out the new Raw theme song?
No.
You haven't heard the opening for Raw?
I've heard the SmackDown one,
which is AC/DC, right?
Yeah.
I can quickly see if I can look it up. I don't know how quickly I'm going to be able to find it. One sec.
Do we know? This is kind of off topic, but on that SmackDown note too. Do we know if is Nakamura going to be? Is he on Team Flair too?
He is.
Okay.
He is on Team Flair. Yes.
All right. I was just curious about that.
I just want to 1 second.
But as far as Bayley and her whole new look, yeah, no, it's something I kind of might have to go back and check out because I seen what she was on Miz
TV with Sasha, but she was struggling. I got to be honest.
Really?
Like
that was going to be my next question. How was it?
It was more just like a little slip up. I think it wasn't that she just felt nervous and it wasn't her place. Like I felt like Sasha was out there with her.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Obviously, I'm just speculating, but it felt like Sasha wanted to speak, but she knew this isn't my time. Like I shouldn't speak over Bayley. Because there was a point, and I don't know, like you'd have to go back and watch it, and I could pinpoint and show you where I mean. But there was a point where I was 95% sure she didn't know what the fuck to say next. She completely, like me on the round table. There's times where I completely blank, and your brain is all white. You don't know what's up there. Yeah. She had one of those, so she kind of dialed it back, like re-said what she had already said, and then got going and maybe found her place in her lines. I don't know. Maybe that tells you that wrestling shouldn't be as scripted as it is, but here, I want to play this, at least a couple seconds of it, to show you kind of this new Monday Night Raw song, if it works for me.
Is it AC/DC as well?
Oh. There's lyrics, too, somewhere. I don't know. Pretty good. It works. I don't want to play too much of it because I don't want to get taken down or whatever, but it's, I don't know. It's okay. I like it because they didn't have a fucking theme song for, I want to say, almost all of 2018. So it's nice to have the theme songs back and the videos at the beginning of the show. It really makes it feel like it's the start of a show. I enjoyed that with the AEW show. Actually, I don't know if they did that this week, but I do enjoy their intro video as well and the music that they chose. But yeah, I don't know. The what was it? Yeah, no, I was going to talk about the Sasha Bayley stuff on the promo. Like I said, the mic is not her best place. I would say personally, I think she might be better than Sasha in the ring, but Sasha's kind of got her number obviously on the microphone. So just in that segment, it didn't look like somewhere that she was extremely comfortable. I can't say that with confidence, at least. Because I don't think there's much else on Raw other than the Street Profits made their debut against the OC. I was pretty excited to see them make their first match, have their first match, but it was weird because I want to say leading up to Raw, it was supposed to be a 6-man tag.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to have a mixed partner.
Yeah.
A mystery partner, sorry. Yeah. And then we got to the match and nothing.
Yeah.
Street Profits came out, and then Ricochet and them, or not Ricochet, AJ and them came out, and I'm going, okay, well, where's the mystery partner? What's going on here? I thought it was supposed to be a 6-man tag. I guess they had announced earlier in the day. I didn't see that it was only going to be a tag team match. I didn't see that. I just know that because I had heard people calling into Wade's show and mentioning that, yeah, it was changed. It wasn't advertised as a 6-man, the day of.
Oh, okay.
So that's good to know that they went and changed that. But still, I didn't know that.
AJ kind of addressed it, I feel like. He was like, oh, you guys couldn't find a partner? I feel like he kind of...
But then, what's his name? The commentator, Dio? Dio.
Yeah.
I really didn't like when he said this because Jerry's like, oh, yeah, they couldn't find a partner. And it's like 10:50. And he's like, oh, the show's not over yet. And it's like, well, fuck, buddy. Like, if I didn't think there was somebody coming, like, I know there's somebody coming now.
Well... No, okay, it's interesting you bring that up because I think I watched this part live too. I think he said that and they went to a commercial. And then I'm like, okay, maybe their partner is going to show up after the commercial.
After the commercial, yeah.
But he didn't.
The way to me, you're probably right. I took it as if he was like, given exactly. But, so the big surprise was Kevin Owens coming out to distract very quickly,
which I predicted.
You did predict it, but underwhelmed.
Were you not? Yeah.
I was very underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I would have popped bigger for Cedric Alexander, I got to be honest.
Really?
Just because,
what?
Why? Like, what does this have to do with anything?
Well,
not that I like the Street Profits, sorry to cut you off, but it's just like, why is he here to help them? Kevin Owens doesn't have anything against AJ Styles as of late.
But they have history.
Yeah. Not
they
like
feuded.
Of course, but I mean, it's not like Sami Zayn history or name another two people that have been going at it for extended periods of time.
They had that lengthy feud. I mean, the way I kind of put it together was like maybe maybe he never really doesn't like AJ.
Yeah,
and he's not.
Maybe he's buddies with the Street Profits backstage, and he said, I wouldn't mind.
Maybe he's seen what they're doing. He likes what they're... I'm sure we'll get more answers on that.
Definitely. Probably on Raw this coming week. I love the Street Profits, though. I'm happy that they're on Monday Night Raw. I'm happy they made their debut. The match was one of their matches, but I love them for their backstage antics and all the craziness that they get to back there. So, I don't know. Good stuff.
It was a fun way to close out the show, I thought, too. I liked that they went over. They won.
Yeah.
They were interacting. Like,
and
that
then
was a good ending.
I missed because I looked away, and I think it was literally like the 15 seconds before the show went off the air. Were they dancing with like a baby?
Yeah.
And the baby somebody mentioned, they're like, oh yeah, the baby looked very happy too. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I got to see this. Because it was honestly just, I think I looked away for a second and then looked back and it was, the show was over. And yeah, I wanted to see the baby.
Yeah, they were going through the crowd and he grabbed,
this baby, and the baby was like smiling and loving it.
Yeah.
How old was it? You think?
Like a little baby. The mom was right there,
like
obviously.
One?
Yeah, like a very little.
That's awesome. I got to go back and see that. That's really cool. One thing I wanted to talk about, I honestly can't remember because I get mixed up. I think it was from AEW last week.
Okay.
When it was Jon Moxley versus Pac in the main event.
Oh no, that was this week.
That was this week?
Yeah.
I thought Kenny Omega was in the main event this week against...
Well, I mean, I don't know what closed the show per se this week, but I know that Pac and Moxley were set to fight this week.
Okay, who did he fight last week then?
Last week they did a tag match.
That's what it was then. Sorry. Yeah. So it was the tag match and somebody walked away.
Mox.
Mox walked away.
Yeah.
All I wanted to get to, and this is just because you're such a big Pac fan, I thought this was extremely interesting that it took 4 finishers to pin Pac.
Yeah.
And I can't remember them all now because this is like over a week and a half ago at this point, but I think he got the D'Ambrose finisher, and then who else was in the match?
Hangman and Kenny gave
him. Yeah, exactly. So Hangman gave him the Hangman, whatever the suplex thing that he
Yeah.
does, and then Kenny gave him a V trigger,
Yeah.
and then I think Kenny might have also given him the one-winged angel. I can't remember.
I think so. Yeah.
And I just thought that was like, all right. So this guy obviously said backstage, it's like, yeah, I'll lose, but this is what's happening first
Yeah.
before I take a pin. Which I'm not discrediting Pac saying like he's pushing himself. This is smart.
Yeah.
Because he's only lost, what, one match in 2 years?
Yep.
You can't have him losing tag matches, one finisher. If this guy is going to lose and that's how this match is going to end, then do it that way.
Yeah.
I
didn't see the match with him and Moxley because I didn't watch the whole show live.
Mhm.
I didn't watch really anything much this week, but
Yeah, I was watching too much baseball, like I said at the beginning of the show.
But I don't know. I heard it was a draw or something. Like it ended in a
It did.
Is that what happened? Yeah.
I'm so happy you brought that up because I switched it over when the baseball was on there. This was, in my opinion, this is the worst decision so far that we've seen AEW make.
Okay.
And it's not the fact that they decided to have this go to a draw.
Mhm.
It's the way in which it went to a draw. So they always announce on AEW when it's the main event, they don't say this is a 20-minute match or a match with a 20-minute time.
They say with
TV time.
Yeah.
Every week,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Mhm.
If that's how it works, it's TV time and you cut the match off when you have to leave. When the TV time is over.
Mhm.
Well, the match, there was no timer on the screen, so we didn't know when the match was ending. It was just an announcer saying, there's 1 minute left in the match. And then 30 seconds later, there's 30 seconds left in the match. And there's still 3 minutes left in the show. It's 9:57, 9:56 at this point.
Mhm.
Probably 9:57. And then the announcer gets to 10 and he's counting. 10, 9, 8 over the fucking speakers in the arena. And then they count like, he's probably at 6 and then Dean hits the D or whatever whatever it's called now, Dirty Deeds, whatever it is inside AEW. And it's 1, 2, kick out. 2, 3, 2, 1, and the show ends. And the show's the show's not over. Like technically the match is over. And the announcer, the match has ended due to a draw for TV time. And Dean Ambrose is like walking around the ring, pacing, all pissed off, looks at the camera. He's like, this is stupid, like getting just very mad. And I'm sitting here going, what do you mean TV time? What is this? What are we watching right now? What is this last 2 minutes that's been on TV? This is TV time.
Yeah.
So he could have won the match now.
Yeah.
In the time that you're showing me watching him walk around the ring because he's pissed off because the match ended too early, he could have won the match because that was TV time.
Mhm.
So I know this is quite the rant to get on at the end of the show, but that really pissed me off because it was like, well, if it's ending at TV time, then do the fucking WCW from back in the day and literally go off air. Say, sorry guys, we got to go. Find out. It's a draw. Find out next week or check the website for more details on AEW.com. I don't know. I'm just saying if the match is over because of TV time, then don't continue your show for another 3 minutes when you just told us you had to end the match because you ran out of live television time.
Yeah, that's an interesting one to even like get into. I feel like because
We can get on.
I wonder if it went the other way and they did just say, hey, we gotta go. Tune in. Like I
if
feel like
people were
that
pissed.
I don't know how that would have went. I don't know how this is even gonna go over. I'm curious to hear what the people gotta say.
I gotta
about
be
this.
honest. Like, well, I've yet to listen to too much stuff, reactions from AEW,
Yeah.
but I'm curious to get.
Yeah, me too.
I want to know. Obviously, I listen to enough Way to Say It every week.
Yeah.
I want to know what he thinks about this
Yeah, yeah.
because this wasn't something where I was influenced by another outlet or media. This was I had this reaction. You can ask Newell and Moo and Hogg when the show was happening, and I was like, what do they mean? What's going on? This is TV what? TV time? I don't know.
The only way I can think of it in
Strange.
defense of them maybe is that like maybe they have us like this certain amount of time for the matchup, and then when there's like I don't know 2 minutes remaining, they have to cut it off. I mean, that's the only.
I get that it's live and you literally got wrestlers working
Yeah.
at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So like to maybe have the ref go, okay, we need to go an extra 30, 40 seconds. Like that might be hard. I get it. I just mean don't end the match with TV time when there's still 2.5 minutes of TV time.
Yeah.
That to me was very weird.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
But we can see how that goes and talk more about it in the future. I don't know. I know I said we wanted to maybe get into ranking some of the wrestling companies. Is that something you want to do tonight, or maybe not?
I mean,
We can always postpone
maybe not.
that one.
We can talk a bit about it. Like, I don't know if I'm going to give a full ranking here.
Yeah. I had another thing that I want.
But let's talk about it a bit. Let's just discuss. You know?
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Well, I was, because I have something else I want to get into
Okay.
that isn't related to wrestling companies and the volume of wrestling companies around.
Oh, this was the audio.
Yeah. I want to get into this because this is something that I thought of this week. I don't know if it was when I was watching wrestling or if when I was listening to a podcast. I'm not sure. But I want to know if you think this would be a good idea. And obviously I'm not saying it's going to happen. This is just something I would get use out of. And that's wrestling audio for Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, maybe even AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is if you're watching a baseball game or a hockey game or a football game or any other sport, a race, like I do enough,
yeah,
you can watch it on TV, or you can find a stream or a real radio feed of that race or game or sport or whatever. I think it would be really cool if you could listen to Monday Night Raw and have a separate commentator, maybe a single, maybe not even two guys, maybe just one guy. Two would be fine too, but not the commentators that are on TV. A separate commentator, you can even have him up in the press box. He doesn't necessarily have to be ringside.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to be, or if it doesn't work out that way, I don't know. Figure that out. That's not mine to figure out. And literally have this guy call the wrestling in a way that's meant for an audio medium. In the way that when you listen to a hockey game on the radio, the announcers describe the game to you in a significantly different way than they do when you're watching it on TV because they know you can't see it.
Yeah.
I would benefit greatly from this. Not because I don't want to watch Monday Night Raw. I think it would be cool if you, like, it would give me the opportunity, and this is where it probably wouldn't work because it would take away ratings from networks, but it would give you the opportunity where if you're out and about and you're busy on a Monday or a Friday or whatever these shows are on, and you're in your car, well, you could tune into Monday Night Raw now live on the radio.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a radio station.
Yeah.
But I mean like a live stream through WWE Network where, you know, like I said, it's Joe Smith, the commentator, sitting in with Buck Joe.
Yeah.
Even though Joe, that's too many Joes. But you know what I mean. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe two guys that are not necessarily associated with wrestling as of right now.
Yeah.
And have like commercial breaks at the same point. You know what I mean? Like when they go to commercial on TV, have it set up so this guy's throwing to commercial at the same time. You know, and they can, I don't know. What do you, I have more to bounce, but I'm curious if you would find this beneficial and or if you're even
I think,
interested.
I don't think that I would be, like, me, myself, I might do it on the way home from work if it was, like, on a radio station. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But maybe not, too. Like, it's very 50-50, I think.
You'd almost rather watch it, you think?
No, I just mean, like, I don't know if I'm going to, like, if this was an option for me and I'm thinking about me coming home on a Monday night.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I would be.
I don't know if I'd be at home. It's more for the...
No, but I'm driving. Like, typically I miss Raw anyway, right?
Exactly,
like, so I'm thinking of, like, this scenario that I'm
If you could tune into the final hour of Raw live and you've got commentary, you've got commentators who are actually describing every move in the ring that's happening. The ring is mic'd up, so you're hearing the ring bounce just like you hear a hockey puck when you listen to hockey on the radio, or the ice or the skates, same idea, or the basketball. And like I said, go to commercial at the same time. Maybe do, you could do exclusive interviews. Maybe you could have, like they do on commentary, where they have somebody at the commentary desk. You could do similar stuff like that, where you've got a wrestler like Miz is on radio audio commentary right now.
I think this is something that could have been a thing, or I think it was a thing like way back.
Really?
Because I swear I've heard somebody like an Edge like talk about having to tune into the radio to
like Edge the wrestler.
To find out some results. Like I swear I've heard
I wasn't
somebody
sure if you meant the Edge
say that
radio
at some
station.
Point. No, I'm pretty sure it was him or somebody like that. And I think not to say it's just now with all the technology and everything going on. I know you don't necessarily mean it has to be a radio station.
No,
per se.
yeah, I mean more of a live feed.
I just don't know who would be tuning into it per se. Like I think that
Yeah,
a lot of the fans want to see it, want to see what's going on, or see a highlight package, or I don't know if people are, you know what I mean? I don't know
as interested to listen,
tuning in. Especially, we're in a good period right now, but it's not like 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 in pop culture, a huge thing as it was at one point in time.
But I would say podcasts, I mean, these are bigger than they've ever been as far as people listening to extended radio shows for, in their free time.
Yeah, but like I don't think the fans, I don't know who would be into it.
Like I would, but I don't know how many people there are like me.
But see, you love podcasts.
I love audio.
And audio, yeah, like you listen to
movies
and stuff. Exactly.
I listen to movies, yeah. So
I don't know if like the general,
wrestling fan or even just population
would like it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I thought it was something interesting that while I was watching Raw, I thought of it and I started writing down a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, oh, we'll talk about this on the roundtable this week and maybe get some more perspective. I'd be curious to talk to Shane, Will, even Tanner when if he could have been here for this part of the show. I'm curious to get different people's perspectives, like you said, because how many people? I'm sure, like you said, it probably wouldn't be the most popular idea, like amongst the younger generation, especially. I got to keep in mind here that I'm not, 18 anymore.
Because to kind of play off it a bit too, I feel like with me and you especially, like we listen to, like you will listen to a Wade Keller post, like listen to them talk about a Raw, or I'll listen to a Don Tony talk about a Raw. There's been times where I have no, like I don't know what happened, and I'll get my fix from that. Like I'll listen to that, and that's good for me.
Good enough.
I'd rather listen to that than
that's a really good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good point. I think it's just I don't know why it's something that I thought of because I was just like, I haven't missed a fucking Monday Night Raw in jeez, I can't even remember.
However,
the last time I missed a Monday Night Raw. It's been a while. So it's like I would have, it'd be nice to know that I could miss a Raw and still be listening to it somewhere.
Yeah.
Not have to have that cable connection or the network or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Well, hey, in all fairness, you can miss a Raw.
Well, I definitely can miss a Raw. You're right. I just enjoy watching it, and I don't know.
It's an interesting discussion point, though. I like what I mean?
Yeah,
I'd be curious to know if other people's opinions on it too.
Remind me, because we'll definitely bring it up when it's not just myself and you in the studio doing the show, because I want to get other people's opinions. But we can kind of lightly go into the other topic if you want.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the other topic.
Yeah.
So when I'm ranking here, is NXT and Raw and SmackDown their own things, or is WWE as a whole just
I would say Raw and SmackDown aren't. I would say WWE and NXT.
Okay.
That's how I wrote it on my paper at least. So basically, for anybody listening, as far as what we want to, I don't know. We're just talking about different wrestling companies right now in 2019 and the fact that there's so many of them.
Yeah. Shoot, as far as like a solid ranking system.
Well, I don't even mean like I could probably rank you mine just by looking at this list.
Yep.
And I don't mean these are the best companies.
Mm-hmm.
I just mean these are all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 companies that are all pretty like significant I guess would be a good word. I was going to say pro, but it's all pro wrestling. I just mean like these aren't, your local independent show. These are significant shows that all have television. That's probably the best way to describe it. They've all got some sort of TV, whether it's just a YouTube or something, but still. So WWE, NXT, AEW, MLW, Impact, ROH, NWA, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. If I'm going to rank them quickly here, I'm going to go WWE at the top because that's my favorite probably. I'm going to go AEW second because I've been liking some of the stuff they've been doing so far. I'm going to go NXT third. I'm going to go ROH fourth. I'm going to go New Japan fifth. I'm going to go Impact sixth. And I'm just going to put MLW and NWA at the bottom because I've yet to watch either one of them. So I can't confidently say that those two shows are going to be in the top even 5 of my top 8 because I've yet to watch them.
And I feel like if you did watch Impact would get bumped up above. Because I know ROH I don't think is too...
Yeah, I don't know about that one. We'll see. I'd have to watch. I don't know, man.
Really?
The wrestlers in Impact don't do it. I like ROH. I might like ROH right now more than fucking NXT, to be completely honest with you. NXT is not doing it for me anymore. I'm just not. I can't get behind it.
When's the last time you've tuned into an ROH? Like, because their product is not too.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Not too.
It's been a while.
Even
Probably
though
since I was at the show, to be honest.
Even though they got a guy that I like as their heavyweight champion now, which is a good thing. It's better than I like that direction better than Taven
or Cody
with the belt. Cody, I was okay with.
Yeah,
but I thought when it went to Taven, I thought that was not the move for the company to make,
especially at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I like
with other companies blowing up.
Yeah, and we've talked about how they could have done things with Marty but now they're kind of in a better direction with who they have as the champion at least. But I don't know. I think Impact's got a. I'm not saying they're.
Yeah.
I just think they have a decent roster. I think they, like their TV programming and some of the decisions the company makes might not be the greatest. Obviously, with the whole, I kind of briefly. I think that was off.
Yeah.
Never mind. But
no, get into it if you want.
The whole Killer Cross thing, like it just.
How they've kind of held him down with the shackles.
Like, it's mind blowing to me that you have like all this wrestling and you're not using a guy who could be a top guy in a,
anywhere.
Yeah.
Let alone Impact.
But they have a decent roster.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to check it out. It is more of a Canadian product. I should be on the ball there. Where is it available as easy to watch? It's on?
Well, they're on Tuesdays now, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what channel, because I was talking to Jag about this off on the phone.
That's gonna bug me. I know the channel too, and it's gonna bug me. But anyway.
But I believe they got a TV deal. But hey, in all fairness, man, I don't watch them religiously either. So like.
But I know you've been a fan for quite a while. Sorry if that was a little loud.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
If they had other guys in there right now, maybe I'd probably be tuning in a little more.
What about, I'll give you the sheet there just so you can kind of see them in front of you. Just why don't you do like a rough ranking like I did there just by looking at them? Obviously, this is not written in any kind of stone.
I think it's pretty, it's not as hard as I think. I'd probably go WWE first. I'd probably go NXT next.
Yep.
I would probably next. I'd probably go
callback.
I'd probably go. This would be interesting. AEW or New Japan.
AEW or New Japan.
Yeah, I'd probably go AEW or New Japan.
But it's tough for you to decide which one.
It's tough, and I'll tell you this. We can talk about this a little bit. It's tough because there's the equal amount of guys in AEW, like let's say Mox, Jericho, Cody, Tupac, Kenny. Like there's a few guys that when their match comes on, I'll watch. There's other guys, their match comes on, and I might walk away for a second, and I know I should be trying to get into the newer guys, and some of them I do. Like if they fight a Jericho or whoever, I'm more inclined to watch.
Like Darby.
Yeah.
That match was really good, man. It actually was. I don't agree with Chris Jericho needing Jack Swagger to beat Darby Allin with his hands tied behind his back, but that's another conversation for another day.
New Japan, though, they've got it might be the same amount of guys, so that's how I'm thinking, like Kota, Okada.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Jay White, but I'll watch him, like Naito.
Do you not like him at all, like Baron Corbin heat, or do you not like him because he's a heel? Because I like him.
I don't like him because he's a heel, and I just... Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. It's not like really I don't want to see the guy wrestle. Like I can still watch him in a match, but I don't know. I don't like him. There's something about him I don't like. Right?
I think the only reason I like him is because I feel like I kind of was there early.
Yeah.
Like I saw him early enough in his run live that it was like, oh, I saw that guy when he was new.
Yeah.
Like U.S. champ, but still.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, that's a tie. They're tied, dude. They're kind of tied. Let's put it at a tie.
Okay.
Can I do a tie? I'll do a tie.
That's fine.
And then we're gonna say Impact. And then it would obviously have to be MLW because I watch more MLW.
I'm surprised they didn't crack it higher on your list, to be honest.
ROH or
I'm surprised that MLW isn't ahead of Impact. Is it Killer Cross that's keeping Impact in that position?
No, it's because I think they have there's still a strong roster. I think Brian Cage is wicked. Tessa Blanchard is she's dope. Sami Callihan is sick.
That's true.
Who else have they got?
I forgot they had Tessa Blanchard.
I don't know where he falls, but Johnny, if he's still there, if he's not, but he was the last time I watched it.
Yeah, I think he's coming there, Johnny WWE.
Yeah.
I think Johnny Mundo. I don't know. Johnny Nitro, I guess, for the people who don't know who we're talking about. Johnny Everything is what we like to call him.
I'll tell you why MLW doesn't crack higher, and that's because they work like an indie in the sense that like MJF still is on MLW. Like he's not AEW exclusive.
Oh yeah, but it's like Kenny won a belt last week in AAA.
Yeah.
Or I think it was AAA. Kenny won something.
Somewhere.
Yeah, in a Mexican
so like
company.
It's the fact that they don't have like they're like even Pillman Jr. like he's popped up in the AEW Battle Royal stuff.
Off topic, is TNA are they not doing some sort of like one night only event?
Are they bringing that back?
They are, because I saw that they said that they're willing to work with AEW and WWE talent for one night only.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they said that they would be open to having either WWE or AEW people come wrestle there. I mean, obviously they would, but I don't think WWE is going to be like, yeah, sure. Apollo, you're not doing anything this weekend? Go. Sure.
That'd be interesting.
Apollo might actually be one of the guys that they'd let go.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be more likely with like an NXT too, right? Obviously, then.
I guess. Triple H probably no. I feel like Vince would be, what? What? Impact? Yeah, sure, send him. Fuck, I don't care. Triple H is like, oh, no. That's competition. They're not going there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Where Vince doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, he probably doesn't look at them like competition.
Mm-hmm.
When
I'm talking about this ranking too, dude, I'm thinking the only reason too that WWE as a whole gets the number one is because of what it represents as far as the Royal Rumbles, the pay-per-views, I'm thinking roster quality, dude, I there's a lot of good guys on these other rosters. Like that's why Impact 2 to me gets Impact I think's got a really good roster of men and women.
So are you saying as a whole you've got one list? If I told you to give me a list of
rosters?
No, well that would be one, yes. And then the other one that I was going to say would be in-ring. Like give me a list of bell to bell.
Yeah, that'd be a fun
Is that New Japan? I'm just curious now. I'm just
now you're just
poking the bear at this point, but you know what I mean.
That'd be a fun one.
We could do a whole episode like that. I'd be interested to do something like that too.
Yeah.
Get somebody else in maybe who's as familiar, like a younger. That'd be good to get him back in talking some of the other wrestling companies.
Well, not spoiler alert, but preview alert that, when I'm sitting here now and I'm thinking about our year-end show.
Yeah.
None of these, not, and I quote this, like WWE pay-per-views, they didn't come to my mind
as like the best show of the year.
These other a couple NXT shows did, a couple other outside ones did, but as far as like my favorite pay-per-view that I watched this past year, though the WWE ones, I had to really, I was like, what, what could it be? There might be one in the system that I'm kind of.
I know I always do this and it's recent, but like I enjoyed Hell in a Cell other than the Seth shit.
But as when you think of
best of the year, I know
your
I
favorite, even your favorites of the year, like that,
probably not,
right? Yeah,
because
that's how I'm trying to.
I just mean, maybe I'm crazy, but that Becky Sasha might make my top 5.
The match,
yeah,
the match is
that might make my top 5.
That match could probably be in a running. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked at that. That makes sense though. That match.
There's gonna be the marks. What do you mean? The match was only 20 minutes. It's So it's a very subjective thing
for sure.
Obviously, it's
and
what
even
wrestling
when we do
is.
that, yeah.
But that show's for fun. It's for our listeners. Obviously, we thank you guys for checking out the show all the time. But that's what that stuff's for. And I don't know.
Yeah, and I've really been hyping it. So
you have more off air, which is probably better
Yeah.
than you hyping it too much on air.
That's true.
But yeah, it's coming. That'll be what? We're going to drop that probably January 1st over the Christmas break at some point.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got the finishing of your list there?
Oh, yeah. No, I finished it off.
Okay, yeah. You had...
ROH just automatically has to go before NWA just because I haven't watched NWA yet.
The
which
power...
I'm going to.
Sorry, the R.
Because I hear Sandow is there.
I seen a video or a picture of him popping up
Nick
there.
Aldis is there, right, obviously.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because he'd be the champion, right?
Yeah. So I'm curious to see what they got, because I heard it's like presented really well, like the production, it's very like traditional NWA, which I think is kind of fucking cool.
Super cool. What a time to be a fucking wrestling fan.
Yeah.
As far as like different types of wrestling that you want to watch.
Yeah.
And I know it's not the same, it's totally different, but it's kinda in a way like our own version of the territories. Because you've got all this different, like I know they're not stuck in one place like the territories, but you've got all these different promotions. Like there's so many promotions right now. And like I said, there's obviously hundreds of thousands of wrestling promotions, but these are the top 8 in North America or in the world, I guess, right now. So it's good to kind of rank them and get our thoughts on them, but I don't know. That's pretty much it there. Check out the Halloween special coming next week.
Yeah.
From us, we did a little. We dressed up and got in the studio and dressed up and did the show all dressed up and talked about some of our favorite Halloween moments of our life and memories from being a kid and costumes and all that stuff, and then some wrestling Halloween moments mixed in as well. But I mean, I think that's pretty much it for the wrestling stuff. Unless you want to get anything else off your chest, there, Don.
No, I think we have covered most of what I wanted to talk about and you wanted to talk about this week.
Perfect. And thanks again, Tanner, for joining us for the first half.
Yeah.
Alrighty. F1 update time. Just a little bit shorter of an episode that we've had in the last than the last couple weeks. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing a bigger F1 update next week in the Halloween show that I talked about. The first half of that show is going to be us, like I said, talking about all the Halloween stuff and things that have happened over the years. And then in the second half will be us talking about myself, that would be me, and Phil talking, who's come on the show before. Big thanks again for Phil to come on the show last week and do the F1 update, kind of in the split show that we did with me and you on the phone call in the first half and then Phil in the second half. Big thanks to Phil for coming on and doing that. We'll definitely be having him on again. Honda Tech Phil is I think the name we're going to be using. Definitely check out ARC Racing Community on YouTube. Will does a really good job over there doing commentary for that. So if you're into sim racing and you're into watching, guys do sim racing live on YouTube, and one of our, frequent guests here that comes on the show, Will, doing commentary, definitely go check that out. But we'll talk a little bit, not going to be like anywhere near as long as it was last week, or it will be next week, but a little short F1 update this week, talking about the Mexican Grand Prix. I'll give you the points update like I always do. Hamilton, 338 points. Bottas, 274 points. And Leclerc with 221 points. I might as well let you know, Donovan, because I know you don't listen every week. Mercedes has officially wrapped up the championship. They won the championship last week in Suzuka. So six times in a row, never been done before.
Nice. First
time that a team has ever won 6 consecutive championships, as well as 6 consecutive drivers' championships. We talked about it last week. Red Bull done it 4, and Ferrari did 5, and it's happened, but just not 6. So big shout out to them, and I'll do it one more time for them. Why not? Yeah. I do cheer for them and support them. So, I mean, I support them all, but I was happy to see them do that. And that race we talked about last week. If you want to hear our thoughts on the Suzuka Grand Prix from 2019, go check out the F1 update with myself and Phil from last week. But this week, like I said, previewing the Mexico Grand Prix. Mexico City. This is a big one. This is where Lewis has won the championship the last 2 years. So he could win this weekend. I think he's got to finish. I think it's somewhere in the upwards of 10 or something points ahead of his teammate, because his teammate's the only one that can mathematically still win the championship as well.
Okay.
To win the championship. So that could happen this year. It is happening 1 week or 2 weeks, I guess, earlier than the last 4 years. It's usually been USA then Mexico. This time they're doing Mexico then USA. Don't know why, but they just decided to change it up. This track, I wanted to tell Tanner about some of this too, because I know how familiar he is with Mexico and that kind of stuff. But talking to you, this track's different because it's 1,000 meters more above sea level than any track in Formula One. And I think we talked a little bit about this in prior weeks, maybe coming into this, previewing it. But it's 2,285 meters above sea level.
Yeah.
So that makes a significant difference in the cars as far as cooling and downforce.
Yeah.
So the air is significantly thinner, so it's harder to cool the car because just less oxygen is getting into the engine as it's driving. And then the downforce. The car is flying through the air, which is way thinner than a typical race. So all the little winglets and all the little, aerodynamics on the front of the car and whatnot aren't pushing the car to the ground like they normally do, because these cars can drive upside down. They're stuck. There's so much suction to the ground that they could physically they could drive upside down if they had to, if they could, you know what I mean? If you were in that situation. So they lose significant amounts of downforce because of the air being so thin. So it's hard to kind of explain it for you, but they have tracks like Monaco, high downforce. You set the car up to be stuck to the ground as much as possible. And then you've got tracks like Monza, which are the complete opposite. It's full throttle 75% of the lap.
Yeah.
So you want to have less drag. You want to have the car maybe, because all that stuff that makes your car stick to the ground is then slowing you down on the straightaways.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to kind of set the stage for you for those two.
No, I'm not as unfamiliar with the altitude changes in Mexico, because similar things happen in UFC when guys go there for fights. Like you've seen guys go over super early and start training in Mexico to get ready, and another guy comes over, was there a little bit shorter, gets knocked out
because he wasn't training in that altitude.
For that, yeah.
So that's another thing too, is it's a different atmosphere for the drivers. Yeah. I mean, here I would say more their equipment, less their bodies, but still like a major factor. What was I going to get? Oh, I wanted to kind of set the stage as far as the difference for just the downforce levels. So like I said, Monaco high downforce, Monza very low.
Yeah.
This track, with the air being the way it is, they have the car set up as far as aerodynamics like it's in Monaco.
Okay. And
they only achieve levels of downforce that they would be getting in Monza. So in Monza's, like I said, where they would normally have as little amount of downforce as possible because they want to fly. So they've got the same aero as Monaco, and they're getting the same downforce as Monza. So that alone is crazy, because it's just showing you how thin the air really is.
Is there one team in particular that's going to benefit more, you think, from this? Or?
From this, typically Red Bull, because their car usually doesn't rely as much on engine power and the cooling and that kind of stuff. I mean, they've won the last two, I think, races that took place here. I think Max Verstappen, the young kid, he's won 17 and 18 coming in. So maybe Red Bull, but again, they had different engines the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm cheering for them. They got a Honda, and I'm cheering hardcore for the Honda, as me and Phil do. But I don't know how that Honda is going to react in this altitude compared to the Renault engine that they had last year.
Yeah.
Another really cool thing about this track is that they've got a baseball stadium that they drive through. So the very last turn is a right-hander that goes in, and then you make a left and another right. And it's an old baseball stadium that they've turned into a racetrack. So it's not exactly the most, the best place to make an overtake or actually make a nice pass or have a cool move go down. But as far as getting, a full baseball stadium full of people into one area to see cars all go through at the same time, super cool.
Yeah.
Plus, they do the podium there rather than on the finish line like most other races. They do it in there because you've got this big stadium of people. I know I'm going a bit long, but it's just there's some cool stats about this Mexican track that I wanted to bring up as well. The name is amazing. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Nice. Just a great, fully Mexican. You read that and you know where the fuck you're at.
Yeah.
You might be in Honduras, but if not, you're Mexico.
Yeah.
There's been different versions of this track used from 1963 to 1970 was one version. 1986 all the way to 1992 was another version. And then the current spec, the layout that they're using now with the baseball stadium that I talked about, is been from 2015 until now.
Nice.
Like I said, Max won the last two races here, so we'll be looking, like you asked me, maybe be a good day for Red Bull. Could be a good day for them. The track holds about 110,000 people, so pretty significant amount. It's 4.3 kilometers long with 17 turns. And just recently they announced that this race is going to be taking place all the way up until 2022 because it was up in the air. This race wasn't going to be happening next year, but they just kind of finalized their deal and wrote that in. And it's going to be changing from the Mexico Grand Prix to the Mexico City Grand Prix since it takes place in Mexico City anyway. They want to just kind of transfer that over. The fastest lap ever recorded here is Valtteri Bottas from Mercedes in 2018 with a 1:18.741. I just wanted to reiterate again, it's possible that Lewis could win the championship here this weekend. He has done it the last 2 years in Mexico. He's won the 2017 and the 2018 Drivers' Championships. But yeah, it should be a good weekend. Looking forward to it. It's one last big stat. I had to do this for me and Phil too, and I forgot to do it. I had it right at the beginning of my notes, and I forgot. Honda's first F1 victory in 1965 took place in Mexico. I don't know if it was at this specific track, but I know if it wasn't, it was. I guess it would have been in between the 1963 and 70 seasons when they were racing there. But yeah, obviously big Honda fans too, so want to, give them their shout out there for their first victory in F1 in 1965. The only other little tiny news coming out of this week of F1, one of them, Toro Rosso, which is the team, like I told you before, Red Bull in Italian, kind of Red Bull's junior team. They are being renamed next year. They're going to be called Alpha Tauri. I don't really know. Well, I know why, but I'm not a big fan of it. The reason that they chose this name is because it's a clothing brand that's affiliated with Red Bull. Okay. So now they've got the Red Bull team is Red Bull, and then their junior team will be the name of their clothing brand rather than just the name of their, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so they just did that. And then the other one, I figured, I was curious because I wanted to get Tanner's opinion of this too if he was here for it, but that doesn't matter. Renault disqualified from the Japanese Grand Prix last weekend for using a active brake bias, which basically means the brake bias of the car was changing without the driver having to make any inputs. Ooh. So yeah, it was, a cool piece of technology, I guess cool for Renault, good on you. You made something that hasn't been made before, but it's not legal. Yeah. So they had to give all their parts and stuff to the FIA last week and then wait and see what the verdict was. And the verdict was that they were disqualified. They found out, I think it was yesterday or the day before when we're recording this, probably like the 20th or so, 22nd of October, that it was announced that they had cheated and they had been disqualified. So their result for that race had been taken away. I don't know what's going to happen with them going forward, as far as I'm sure they'll just remove that part and not use it anymore because that's all that was the only reason that they were disqualified in the first place. But yeah, I don't know. Big deal as far as a team getting disqualified.
Yeah, it's
kind of crazy. You know what I mean?
Weird, yeah.
But yeah, Mexico Grand Prix, like I said, me and Phil are going to kind of break it all down in the second half of the Halloween special next week. But thanks for checking out the F1 update. Another one in the books, Don.
Yeah.
Another one bites the dust. Episode 59 of the Roundtable. Like I said before, check out the Halloween special coming next week. We appreciate everybody checking out the show, and if you don't already, hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at PWLookBack. Follow, like, subscribe, share, comment, DM, PM, all of it. Do it all. Pro Wrestling LookBack at gmail.com if you want to send us an email. iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, and YouTube is where you can listen to the show. And I didn't say it at the beginning, but I said it last week. Check us out on Google Play.
Yeah.
Hey, Google, play Pro Wrestling LookBack. Subscribe, hit the 5 stars. We appreciate it, guys. Check out me on Twitter at Salsa, SCELSA.
And my Twitter is at JustDon44.
And if you don't, like I always say, go check out the sponsors. Pure Oxide Premium CBD Oils. It's at Pure Oxide CBD on Instagram. They've got some affiliate accounts from other local regions as well. You can check them out. PureOxide.com. They ship worldwide. No GMOs, no THC, lab tested. 3 different products you can get: 2,500 milligram bottle, 5,000 milligram bottle, 3,000 milligram cream. Check out at Justin.Brothers on Instagram to get in contact and find out what is the right product for you. They have contests regularly. Stay up to date. Follow them. This stuff works amazing for joint pain, anxiety, overall well-being. I've talked about it for many weeks now. They've got hundreds of positive reviews. Check them out at Pure Oxide Premium CBD Oils, just at Pure Oxide CBD, sorry. And pureoxide.com is the website. This has been the Roundtable, episode 59. I'm Nick.
And I'm Donovan, telling you to stay classy.